we have a brand new integration that we announced with Flextract. And I know ever since I knew what Flextract does, I saw a demonstration of it. I have been personally so excited. If you don't know, my name is Nora, and I have worked in fintech for more than a decade. So I am a big data nerd. I love talking shop about best practices and practice management and just making sure that the clients have the most seamless experience. I know nowadays, people can open up any website and almost open an account in like 2 seconds. So I really like helping advisors get faster, more efficient, be competitive. So that way, you can get all the data that you need faster, get it where it needs to go faster, and then of course, get everything to your clients faster. So I really love that. And today we'll kind of go through a demonstration of all of that. So I'll go ahead and give a moment. You can introduce yourself and we'll go from there.
Hey everyone, thank you, Nora. My name is Rajesh Jayaraman. I am the founder and CEO of Flextract. We are a startup, and what we do is we help advisors with their document gathering process and document processing, so that your client onboarding, your annual review meetings go much smoother. Our product is very, very synergistic with what PreciseFP what PreciseFP have built over the last decade or so, and we're just super thrilled to have this integration. It's been just such a pleasure to work with Nora, Richard, and Daniel on the PreciseFP team. I'm looking forward to share what we've built and show both the Flextract product and the integration with you all.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much. Let's jump right into the PowerPoint. And as we get that powered up, there is a react button on the GoToWebinar. Give me a thumbs up if you still currently use statements, tax returns, all of that as part of your data gathering process. If during the onboarding or even continued servicing throughout the year, are you still asking for those documents? And even pay stubs. Sometimes your clients might say, I make 150,000, but they're not adding in their bonuses. So it's kind of better to actually see those pay stubs to make those calculations, right? Oh, great. I saw those thumbs come in. Thank you so much. So good to know.
Fantastic. Yeah. And yeah, it looks like everybody on the call hit the thumbs up over there. And, you all know how nobody enjoys copying data from all of the documents that got submitted into, eMoney or into Excel or into PreciseFP. Like, nobody likes doing that. And what we set out to build was to see how much of that time we can return back to you, so that you can spend that time with clients, or you can spend the time on your business, growing your business. So that's basically what we do. So we are a document gathering, client onboarding, client onboarding tool for financial advisors. And when I speak to a lot of advisors, and when I ask them, hey, what are some of the things that you're thinking about in this world, they all tell me like one of two things, right? It's like, hey, I want a great client experience, and they say, like, in the last 10-15 years, I've been in fintechs for 20 plus years, both on the B2C side as well as the B2B side. And one of the things that always strikes me is how great the onboarding experiences are in these direct-to-consumer apps out there, right? Whether it's robo-advisors, whether it is online brokerages, whether it is like large national banks and so forth. They just have like a very smooth, seamless experience. And advisors are asking, hey, why can't I do that for my firm? Like, why can't I have something like that? The other side of it is on the efficiencies front. There's just so much time that is spent on this manual work, copying and pasting data and things like that. And advisors are looking for some way to change this. I'll ask you all to do the thumbs up again. Do both of these things resonate with you? If it does, please do a thumbs up. Fantastic. And many of you have started using a lot of AI tools, especially around meeting note taking, and everybody says that that has been such a game changer. And once you've gotten a taste for AI, you're now looking around and saying, hey, why can't I do that for onboarding? And that's where we come in. And this is not just one or two of you, right? This is something Kit says put out in the latest advisor tech study. They asked this question on what do you want out of AI? What will you buy in AI? And the number one thing that most advisors said were document reviews and data gathering. Like, that is the thing that we want AI to help us with, because that is sort of the biggest pain point for advisors. But if you think about the data gathering and the document gathering part of it, like the whole onboarding experience right now, if you go back 5 years, there was really not a good way to, you still need, in order to put together a full financial plan, in order to help your clients holistically, in order to understand their finances, you need all this data. There is no way around it, both from a regulatory standpoint as well as from the standpoint of you want to help clients really well. You just need to understand all of the pieces of the puzzle that the client has going on. And up until now, like, you had questionnaires, you had documents being uploaded, and then your work, your teams would sit down, organize these files, sort through them, build out spreadsheets, copy the data into other systems. But in the last couple of years, we now have this technology with the latest versions of these AI models. And that's really what we started the company to bring to bear. And what we do is we make both the client experience delightful and easy. Also, we make life much easier for your team so that you're not doing manual copy paste work. And working with PreciseFP, we're now able to push this data into all of the other wealth stack connections that PreciseFP just has such a wide library of connectors with. And so how do we work? Essentially, client, it's a very simple process. Instead of having the client fill out, a lot of information, client just uploads their documents. We extract data from any document, right? Whether it is tax, whether it is pay stubs, whether it is insurance documents, whether it is investment statements, any of those things, we pull the data from it, we synthesize it, and we automatically fill the intake forms, the questionnaires in PreciseFP, the engagements in PreciseFP, as well as we build out reports. One of the things that we build out is a client financial profile, which I'll show you, as well as other detailed topic reports. And then the thing that we are announcing today is we push this data into PreciseFP, which allows us to be integrated into the entire ecosystem of wealth tech. Awesome. So that's how we work. So I'll jump into one quick point about this. As we talk about the PreciseFP integration, we've been working hard at building out the Precise integration, and we now sync data across. I don't think I'll show you all 246 fields today, but the library of fields that we support is we push data into 246 fields, and as you will see through the process, you can actually select which data you want to go into PreciseFP from Flextract. All right, so let me jump really quick into the demo and walk you through what the product looks like.
That's awesome, because if anyone knows me, I love the word extraction. I just love how extraction has been added into the process, where it could just pull all of that and push it. It's so future. I love it.
Thanks, Nora. Yeah, so the our product Flextract has two parts to it. The first one is the client-facing part. Obviously, clients can upload documents, through the PreciseFP engagements in the and the questionnaires there. But if you want a place for clients just to upload documents, we make it super easy for you. Like if all you're doing is collecting documents and you're not putting a questionnaire in front, you can basically put this link in front of your clients. Clients come in and verify themselves with their phone number.
And I love that. I don't know if anyone has bought a house recently, but this is exactly how mortgage companies are doing it, right? They're like, I need the spouse's documents, I need your documents, and it's a nice portal like that.
That's exactly right. And both spouses can actually upload documents in here with their own phone number. And our folder system allows you to actually route both of those into the same folder. So you can actually have a comprehensive look at their entire financial profile, even though both folks are uploading. And once the client comes into the uploader page, they see a checklist, and this checklist is something that you can customize as the firm to say, hey, what are the different types of documents I want? So you may want to put an onboarding checklist over here, but if you're doing annual reviews, you may want to put an annual review checklist over here. So so you can list out all of the different types of documents that you want. And the nice part is the client does not have to go in and sort through their folder full of documents and say, hey, I need this document or I need that document. So the client can essentially go in and upload, we support up to 10 documents in one drag and drop, but really, they can upload as many documents as they want in here. And, and our AI technology goes out, actually looks at these documents and figures out what type of document it is. And in the 5 seconds that we were talking, we figured out that that was a tax return and that was a driver's license. And essentially that it just makes it super easy to get these documents into Flextract. And so what this does from a client experience standpoint is, the client is not having to like sort through every document and tell you, hey, this is a tax return, this is a 2023 tax return, this is a 24 tax return, this is a brokerage statement, or this is a 401k statement. They just have to say, here's all my documents. So think about that get organized meeting that many of you have. We basically do the organizing for you, like 90% of the organizing. So you can just go in and look at these, look at the summaries and look at the documents. And so when the client uploads these documents, they show up here on your portal, and we have automatically categorized what type of document it is. And now, if you are, say, you're using the PreciseFP questionnaires and through the engagements, they're uploading documents, or the client walks into your office and they bring a folder full of a shoebox full of documents, and you are scanning these for them, you can scan those and upload them here. So let's throw up a few more documents in here. And so all of these documents go through the same process. We are categorizing what is in these documents, matching these up against all of the checklists. And the other thing that you can do with Flextract is you can even add notes. So I'm going to add like a very long note over here. So there's some types of information. Let's say kid's date of birth, right? This is stuff that you don't usually see, in any documents, unless you're asking for the kid's birth certificate, which most of you do not, or goal information, right? As you're talking, so you can take those meeting note taker notes that you have. You can take all of those and plug these in here, and we will synthesize that along with the rest of your documents as well. So you can take the notes that you took from the meeting note takers. Let's say you're having conversations about their investment risk tolerance, so you can pop all of that information in here. And we'll handle all of that information for you. So as this information has come in, so we've figured out all of the different types of documents in here, and brought these together to figure out what type of document they are. And then what do we do with the data? So we've now extracted all the data from these documents. Now let's show you all the things you can do with the data. So, and the way you do things with the data is we have the concept of reports, and we allow you to build, we have a huge library of reports already that summarizes various aspects of a client's finances, all the way from a full financial profile to tax return based summary. But the nice part is we also have the ability to build custom reports for you. So if you are, if you do a special type of financial advice or financial planning, we are able to build you a special report, whether it is business financial. So, we are constantly adding to the standard list, but we also have the ability to build custom reports on here.
I love that. Even on that checklist, when somebody didn't upload their will information, that's almost an opportunity for you to maybe solicit and offer an additional service to provide that.
That is exactly right. So, in a lot of cases, when you look at, how you're processing documents, because the work is so manual and so heavy, many advisors tend to be sort of focused on, very specifically on, hey, I need to get this sort of, cash flow planning or, balance sheet planning done quickly or tax planning done quickly. So you're not like looking at all of the other opportunities that are there. So if we take away all of that grunt work for you, of reading all those documents and get all the information in one place, you'll be able to see, this report is a great example of that. It's this client financial profile where just off of these documents, we've pulled all this information and we are now showing you who are all the family members in there, right? What are their assets? So we've pulled all the, account information from the statements. So there's one Fidelity statement over here with 4 or 5 accounts. We're pulling account level information from all of those things and putting the value of each of the assets. What type of account is it? Is it a taxable account? Is it a tax deferred account, etc.? Same thing goes for liabilities, mortgages and credit cards. Any income sources, we pull information directly off your pay stub or your W-2, and we have logic in here. We use the AI to essentially make sure that you have the freshest information. So even if let's say you uploaded both a W-2 and a pay stub, we'll figure out what is the more fresh document, and we'll use the information from that. So one of the things that we do exceptionally well, differently from, there are obviously a lot of other document processing type folks out there, but many of them do it on a one document at a time basis. So we are able to synthesize across multiple documents and say, hey, this is the latest statement for this particular investment account. So this is the data that we need to pick up, or this is the latest information for getting Robert's salary. So we're going to pick it from there. And across all these other areas, right? Savings and taxes and insurance and estate planning and all of that. And you can export all this information to Excel as well. So, many of you still use Excel for a lot of, when you need to do sort of custom bespoke analysis for a particular client, you want to bring it down to Excel and do your work. So we actually export all of these into individual tabs. So you can do your computations and calculations if you wanted to, or if you already have templates, and that's a great use case for custom reports. We work with you to integrate this export into your spreadsheet so that you can use formulas to take information from here and plug it into your spreadsheets.
Love that. We do have Ryan I like where Ryan's head is at. He's saying, does the tool rename the file using a naming convention?
That is a great question. That is something that we are actively working on, and we're going to have that in pretty short order.
Really nice. So you can say the year, the client, and the type of document, and have that ordered. Conrad's asking, do you work with Canadian advisors, since some of our documents will be different, as will our tax returns?
That's a great question, Conrad. Yes, we do work with, we don't have any Canadian advisors we're working with right now. However, we are working with advisors from Mexico. So not only can we read different documents, we can read documents in all languages. So we actually read Spanish documents as well. And so the difference is going to be, in the client profile report, probably there's not going to be much difference. But when it comes to things like income tax and so forth, which are very jurisdiction specific, we may need to build those custom reports for you. But yes, we can absolutely work with Canadian advisors and start adding value immediately for you.
Great. And one more, Justin says, does the checklist have to be created manually for each client, or is there like a template maybe?
Yeah, great question, Justin. Yeah, so we have the ability to have a default checklist for your organization, which automatically shows up here whenever a new client comes in. So it'll automatically show up there. We also have the ability to we're working on an ability to have multiple different checklists. So a checklist for client onboarding, a checklist for annual reviews and so forth, which you can then apply sequentially to that client's folder.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Awesome, great questions. Please keep them coming. So another report that is that a lot of our advisors use is the investment holdings report. This is basically, we've gone into all of the investment accounts, and by individual account we've pulled all the holdings, and we consolidate that into a single sort of portfolio report for you, all of the holdings. So this pulls information like market value, cost basis, and quantity from the statement itself. So but more importantly, we pull the identifier for those if it's present in the document. So if a picker is present, we'll pull that. If otherwise, if it's a CUSIP is present, we'll pull that, and so on and so forth. And again, this report can also be exported into Excel, and this is super useful, especially when you're putting together an investment proposal for a prospect. So we'll export every single account separately. So you can now take this and put it into a CSV and load it up into whatever portfolio analysis tool that you use, whether it is something like Quanti, or you go a free tool like a BlackRock or a JP Morgan's portfolio tool. You can take this and plug it into those tools and off from there. We also have a tax report, a tax waterfall report. This is a very simple analysis of the family's tax return. So what this does is, we show you visually, how the income is building up, right? What are all the different components of income on the 1040 and its schedules, and then what are the above the line deductions, what are the below the line deductions, and how the tax brackets are computed. So this is a very, very simple way to get your arms around, hey, what does the situation look like for this particular household. We also have deeper dive reports where we do income breakdown going into, so especially when you're working with high net worth clients who have trust income or partnership income or business income. So we can go into those, Schedule E, Schedule C, and pull data from those line items as well. Awesome. So this was, this is all the different capabilities of Flextract, standalone. But the real magic of it, especially for this call, is, what can we do with the PreciseFP integration? What have we done with the PreciseFP integration? And so let me dive into what the Precise integration looks like. So we have the way you enable a PreciseFP integration is on the Flextract side. So we are essentially using the PreciseFP connectivity to push data into PreciseFP. So you go into the settings page, go to the connections, and go ahead and add a connection. And so here you see all the connection types that we support. So we also support pushing all the documents that are uploaded into a box or a Google Drive or one of the storage systems. And you select PreciseFP as the connection, and you'll go through the standard OAuth-based authentication. So you put in your username and password, and then that's connected. And once PreciseFP is connected, you will start seeing in the folders a sync data button where you can actually go in and see the PreciseFP connector over here. So here, we're going to go through, from all these documents that have been uploaded and the note that was put in, we're going to go in and see, push this data into PreciseFP. So the first thing that happens when we initiate a sync is we first have you select, which is the record that we want the data to go into. So I created a PreciseFP profile over here for a person with just their name, right? So all that is there is their name, and you select the person's information, And then we are now going out and figuring out what types of data is there in PreciseFP. What are all the fields that are available? What are all the fields that we are picking up from these documents, and matching it to say, hey, which field matches to what? And once that is done, we come back with a list of recommendations for what are all the different fields that you can actually go in and sync. So we have all the personal information up here. We also have information about their driver's license, the risk tolerance score that came in from the notes that we put in, life insurance information that was there, so you can basically go in and select which pieces of information, IRA information, 401k information, any taxable accounts as well as any goals that were specified. So this is how the 246 fields comes about, right? So we are able to look at all the entirety of the client's profile and say, hey, these are all the different pieces of information that we want to sync. Then you can select all of the fields, some of the fields, whichever ones you want to sync, and you can always come back and do more additional sync if you want to push additional data in. And then you hit sync data. So right now we are essentially calling PreciseFP and pushing this data into essentially into PreciseFP. So we came in, we refreshed the profile, and there we go. So we've got a bunch of fields that we just pushed in. We see the information about the personal details. We see the driver's license information come in. We see the employment information coming in. We see information about their family members, kids, spouses, insurance information. We got the life insurance and homeowners insurance populated over here. All of the 401ks, IRA, Roth IRA, all of those information got pushed in, and on and on and on, right? Including some of the goals that were specified in there, including college goal. So on the note, if you remember, we just said, hey, we want Noah to go to college from year 18, go to like a private Ivy League school. So we basically figured out, okay, that means it starts in this year. That's the amount of money that you want on the goal. So this just makes it super easy to get all this information into PreciseFP. So that is basically what happens when you push data into PreciseFP. So what this has done is, imagine, so this information came in from 6-7 documents. We have client folders with dozens of documents in there. So we are able to pull all this information and push it to you. So just imagine the amount of time you're going to save entering all this data when you're getting these statements. So you just need to pop it into Flextract, look at the data, confirm it, and then push it into PreciseFP. So that just saves you so much time.
Yeah, that is so nice. I love it. I'm sure everyone didn't catch it, but it was just a refresh, and it went from first name, last name to literally hundreds of fields that just got populated. No one clicked edit, no one typed in anything. So it's very nice to see that. Thank you for showing that. Justin's asking, is there a comparison screen that will show the current information in PreciseFP versus the suggested data to update prior to doing the sync?
Yeah, Justin, yes, that is right. So that screen that you saw where we listed out all the fields, if there is already data in PreciseFP, we will actually show you what data is in there. So it basically has two things. One is a PreciseFP data and Flextract data. So you'll basically look at both of those, compare it, and then sync it.
Nice. And Katie's asking, is SharePoint expected to be a connection?
So yeah, we're working on getting SharePoint, the files into SharePoint. Yeah, so the storage integrations tend to be just a lot quicker for us to do. So we've got a, because we don't need to do a lot of data mapping and so forth. So yeah, SharePoint is definitely on the agenda. It should be there. I don't have a date for you, but yes, soon.
Really nice. All right, I'll go ahead and share now some of the PreciseFP things that we can do. And I know you could probably tell I'm so excited about what this integration entails. But I want you to just think about how good this is for clients that won't fill out their data, right? I know I'm constantly saying that no matter what, you will still have clients that will not, fill out a form in PreciseFP, and you might need to get side by side with them and fill it out on their behalf, or jump on a call with them and get all that information or gather the documents and fill it out manually. This is really nice for those clients. And even just maybe changing altogether of, what I'll show you now, of where we're going to get your documents, we're going to extract the data, and then I'm going to send you a form to review. So kind of how you use PreciseFP for data maintenance, where you're saying go in and give everything a once over. If anything's missing or incorrect, they can change it. But really, you're not, because maybe like an AI note taker, they might mention their child's name is Dina, right? And the note taker might spell it Deena, but really the name is Dina, and you have to change that. Well, if it's coming directly from the document, you're not going to run into bad data like that, right? It's pulling the exact spelling convention and everything right from the form. So you get that good, thorough, clean data, which I love as well. So going into PreciseFP, this is a different profile here, but same thing, just assuming all of that data came in from the extraction. What you can do next for that first use case is ask them to go ahead and review all of that information if you want to build that as part of your process. We could go ahead and choose to engage. And first I'll choose with a form, because remember, we do PDFs and we do forms. Forms are going to be for data gathering, where people can go in and type in and change and update things, where the PDF, which I'll show as well, will be more of like a read-only situation. So let's say I want to send over this Redtail fact finder. We'll go ahead and create this form. It's going to take all of the Anderson family's information that was extracted from all of those documents and put them into this form. So then, like I said, you could just tell them to review everything and make sure everything is correct. And in my Redtail form, you'll notice a lot of additional questions I added here. You can even start to build on that relationship and start to add some of those relationship builder questions. I said, who can we thank for referring you? What's your favorite beverage? What's your military service branch and favorite restaurant? But none of those are with the template by default. You would just customize that. So then this is really easy for the client, right? This might take them just literally 90 seconds to go through each page and just make sure everything came over and all of the information is correct, and then they can be done. You could even insert the risk tolerance questionnaire right here into the form. So that way, with that one link, they're reviewing their information that came in from the documents. They are taking their risk tolerance questionnaire. And I even have in here a calendar embedded. So if you use G Reminders, Zoom Scheduler, Microsoft Bookings, you could even embed your calendar in here as well. So that way with that, oh, it's not sharing, is it? Let me go ahead and share the right screen. Let me see here. It didn't share the risk tolerance and all of the Redtail stuff I was showing. So let me go here to the fact finder. So this is what I was talking about with the embedded calendar. You'll notice I'm on page 9 out of 10, but I'll go back and show you the other stuff I was saying. But with that one link, you could ask them to review that document and extracted data. You could ask them to do their risk tolerance, which was just on this page right here. And on the next page, it could score it. And then the last page, they could book a date and time with you with that one link. So this is an option here just to kind of provide that seamless experience of, you know, they're not really filling in anything. They're just reviewing their information. And if you want, you can continue to build on with those relationship builder questions. Like I put the favorite beverage, who could we thank for referring you, and whatnot. And I did customize this form just like the document upload. You were able to put your logo on that page. Here you could change it to your brand, your colors, your logo, your headshot, your team picture. You know, you could put a video, whatever, just to kind of make it a full circle experience with that. So that's the first use case, is if you wanted them to review their information, you could go ahead and pre-fill that into a fact finder. But the next thing I want to show is how to use that data to maybe open up a new account. So if we go back to the Andersons, and let me make sure I have this being shared correctly. All right, so I went back to the Anderson family here, and I am going to engage again with this family, but this time I'll choose with a PDF. And you'll notice there are a number of account opening PDFs here. This adds a ton of value to your office. Something that could have taken 2 days to open an account with Schwab, Fidelity, can take 2 minutes with this process. So in the PDF library, there are built-in pre-baked Fidelity forms, Schwab forms, shareholder service group forms, and you could take those and choose which one you want. So if we want to open up an IRA account with Schwab, I can choose that here. I can choose up to 5 forms at once and continue. This is going to take some of the work right here, is making sure the correct selections are chosen here. So you want to make sure you dedicate some time on this page. And then with Schwab specifically, you can use the Schwab DocuSign. So what this will do is it'll take all of the Anderson family's information, put it into that new account PDF, and then it'll send it to DocuSign, create an envelope. Once you get that signature through DocuSign, it'll automatically send over to Schwab for processing. So it's gonna go even faster by using Flextract to get that information in the front end. You'll be able to go ahead and get all of the data here for the family, and then you can go ahead and use some of the pre-baked PDFs to go ahead and even use DocuSign to process and automatically send for signature. So that's an option too. And the last thing we wanted to talk about was exporting all of that data over. So if I go to the partners page here, you'll notice we have more than 40 partners that are listed here. So if I scroll down the page, you know, there's Flextract, we have eMoney, Redtail, Money Guide, you have your AI note takers here. All of the integrations are with PreciseFP, so it's kind of like a data hub. Well, once the information is extracted, all that good, clean data is into the data hub, essentially. You can now export that information everywhere it needs to go. So it's going to be so nice to be able to say, all right, I need to get all of that data over into Redtail now. I haven't worked with the Anderson family before. I want Redtail to create a record for them. And then you just click the export button, and you know, very quickly here, it's going to take all of that information. Oh, and it looks like I don't have. Oh, so what happened is Anderson family already exists in Redtail. So let me go ahead and send over somebody else. All right, so it'll go ahead and send more than 100 fields. And if there are any errors, it'll let you know as well. It looks like some of the insurance information here has just general, because this is a fake record, general gibberish information that didn't transfer over. But within seconds, you'll be able to send this person from PreciseFP into Redtail, and either create a record if they are brand new or update a record if new data has come along. So even using Flextract before review would be a great use case if you want to get any additional documents obtained and uploaded there. It can extract that information, go into PreciseFP, and anything that was changed in PreciseFP, when you send it back to Redtail, it'll update all of those records. So that's an example for Redtail. Let's jump down to eMoney and assume, same thing. We want to get all of that extracted data from Flextract over into PreciseFP and then essentially over into eMoney. We could go ahead and choose eMoney there and it'll extract all that data there, or it export, sorry. Same thing with Smart Office. I have Wealthbox turned on. I have RightCapital turned on. I have Money Guide Pro, Asset Map. Wherever it needs to go, you could just choose that exact partner. And then same thing here. It's going to go ahead and move all of that data over. So much power there. I'm so excited for you guys to jump in and kind of see visually how it could add value to your office. I know it's going to create that higher level of customer service where, those forms are more pre-filled. The more pre-filled, the better. So I think that that's a really nice service that you can add onto your process. Oh, yes. And I love this slide. If you look at that number, that's an impressive number right there, right? 246 fields move over from Flextract into PreciseFP.
Yeah, I just got confirmation. I was waiting for confirmation from Richard that we can say that this is one of the highest number of fields that any of the PreciseFP's partners, send over to PreciseFP. So we're super stoked about that.
That is so awesome. So I know, you can see how this could add value and kind of go and test it out. We can go ahead and get to some questions too that came in.
Yeah, I think Conrad has a question on cash flow information.
Okay.
I can take that. Yeah. So Conrad, yes. So we do have the ability to pull cash transaction information from this, as well as we have a cash flow report. I don't have it right here. I can show it to you, but we actually have the ability to pull all of the transaction data from any of your cash statements, so credit cards as well as bank statements. So we can pull all of the transactions from any given statement as well as export it into Excel. So this allows you, if you're doing budgeting, if you're doing that kind of work. So we have basic categorization in here. So this uses sort of a very high level categorization around, food and drink, transportation, things like that. So that is absolutely a use case that a lot of advisors use this for.
Yes, everyone loves talking to clients about the B word of budgeting, right?
I don't think love is a good word for that.
Yeah, exactly. You're spending way too much on Amazon.
Yeah.
All right. I have a question for you. Which one of those reports, and if any, would be more client facing that you might print out and have ready at the meeting for them to look at? Or would some of them be good for internal purposes, like a sales meeting or just a team meeting where you're talking about clients that are maybe coming in that week and getting a rundown of their financial picture?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think something like a client financial profile is some, we've designed the report so that you can be proud to show any of these report to clients. So none of these things are you need to hide it under the carpet, right? So so that's number one. So we design it in a way that any of these can be shown to clients. However, we think that something like a tax summary report or a tax waterfall is a great thing to show to clients. Something like a net worth statement that we also generate. That is something that you may want to show to clients. Where the client financial profile, it can go either way, right? That's something that you want to use it interactively to show them, hey, this is what we have. Are we missing anything? Are there anything that, that's always a thing that comes up. I've seen a number of sat through a number of discovery meetings and had conversations with advisors going through discovery meetings, and it's always like, there is always like, oh yeah, I have that account, I forgot about it, like I need to get you that. So it's like, that this allows you to elicit that, so that you're doing your planning with all the information in there.
Really nice. And then internally, would teams use it as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the client financial profile is one of those things that you can use internally, because it just has this summary information about everything that the client has. The other one is document document sufficiency. Like, do you have all the documents that you need, like the checklist? Those tend to be a little more internal, not quite external. And Sean has a question on a sample of reports. Absolutely. So if I don't know how to get information out to folks on this call, but if you want to set up time with me to have a conversation, we can have a conversation, and I can send you over those sample reports as well.
Mm-hmm. Really
yeah, so
great.
We have all these sample reports, yes.
Nice. And I have another question. I noticed you mentioned that holdings come over, right? You'll be able to see all that information. Can you then, maybe cast a net over everyone who has a holding in Tesla or something, and do something with that group, or send them an email, a market commentary, something like that?
Absolutely. Those are all things that that we have in our roadmap. We don't have it yet, but yes, those are absolutely the kinds of things that we want to enable you to do. Be able to report across multiple clients, be able to look at, picture the picture of, a particular type of thing across your clients, who has, Schedule C income, or who has rental property, who has, Tesla stock, So all of these things, to be able to look across your entire book and see, not just from your internal data. You obviously have the ability to do it if you are managing their money, from your portfolio management tool. But there's just so much information that is just not in those in the portfolio. The stuff that is not in the portfolio, we allow you to be able to look at it as structured data.
Really nice. And how can people get in touch with you to schedule a demo, and kind of learn more?
Awesome. Yeah. Let me quickly go through, just a summary of what we offer and pricing for the product. So, when you buy Flextract, you get, a secure client application for the uploads, the advisor portal where, advisors can look at the, documents, data extracts, reports, manage all of your household folders, all the reports, forms, and checklists that come in, and as well as all the integrations that come with it, all the file storage, and most importantly, the PreciseFP integration. We are SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. Even before we launched, we got ourselves audited, because we deal with, we obviously deal with highly sensitive PII. So we take that very, very seriously. My background has been building fintech applications, so we know that security is just table stakes, and we take that very seriously. So the pricing is here. It's also on our website, and we'd love to talk to you. It's, shoot me an email or go to our website and schedule a demo, so we can speak one-on-one, and I can answer any questions, show you a bit more of the product, dive into specific details of it as well.
Yes, thank you so much for going through everything. I know I'm super excited throughout the whole session. I was like, yes, love this, like that. I really like adding this portion onto, just to help out the team internally, but then make it just a better, more competitive experience that is just like every other industry. Like I said, if you're opening up a new loan for a home, same exact thing. They're used to this type of process. So why not have a similar process and even add the intelligence of AI to it?
Indeed, indeed.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Thank you everyone so much for joining us, and have a great rest of the day, everyone.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.